Hi there, I'm Paul Mitchell, speaker and author. I want to talk to you today about a thing that I see causes a hell of a lot of stress in people, particularly leaders, but anyone for that matter. And it's a gap I call the integrity gap. And the integrity gap is this gap here. The gap between your values, or what you value, what's really important to you, and your behaviour. For example, you really value family, very, very important to you. You're a family person, but your behaviour is you're constantly away. You're overseas, or you're working incredibly long hours, and you just don't have the time to actually get back to family. So you've got this amazing gap. That's what I find causes a hell of a lot of stress. There's a lot of other things that cause stress, but if there's a gap between your values, even if you don't know them consciously, even if you know them at an unconscious level, a gap between your values and the behaviour that you're doing, you're gonna feel some stress. So great, fantastic. What do I do with this? Well, 4 things you can do. 4 simple things. First one, 4 steps. First step, identify your passions. Identify 3 passions, 3 things that are really, really important to you. Could be family, could be health, could be financial independence, could be community work, could be fishing, netball, whatever. But 3 things that are really, really important to you. Like 3 things that make your DNA dance. Then next thing is ask yourself really honestly, and I want you to do this on a weekly basis, the amount of time you're spending on each of those 3 things. Say if it was fitness, and that was really important to you because that gives you energy and allows you to do all this other stuff. Really put down, is it 20 minutes a week, an hour a week, 2 hours a week, or whatever. So how much time am I spending on the things I'm passionate about? The next thing, and I know it's not always about money, but the other thing would be have a look at the amount of money you're spending on each of those 3 things. You say that fitness is really important and you ride your bike, but you've got this little clangor of a bike that's just impossible. Or you say that family is really important, but you're not actually spending money thinking about a holiday. I'm not saying you've got to spend money to have a great family holiday, but this is this whole concept of what will really tell you what's important to you is the amount of time you spend on it and the amount of money you're prepared to invest in it. For example, for me, personal development, just for the sake of it, I just love it. I spend a lot of time doing it and I spend a lot of money doing it. So I think for me, that's a value where I am in integrity with. There are others I think I need to work on, but that would be one where, I value it, I value learning just for learning's sake. I put a lot of time into it and I spend a lot of money on it. And then the final kicker is you say, well, okay, what if there's a gap here? Very simply, what are 3 commitments I can make from now on to actually bridge that gap? So, if you're getting a little stressed, I suggest to you it's not how much work you have on your plate. I know people have got so much work on their plates, they're not that actually stressed. So I want to talk about, I've talked about work-life balance, but I want to talk about, I think that's a furphy. You'll find that entrepreneurs or people that are actually quite happy and quite contented don't have a work-life balance problem. It's all just life for them. It all just merges into one. So let's go back to what we started with. What I'm saying is, if you've got some values or something you value and you are not doing behaviour in line with those values, you're going to have an integrity gap. And at an unconscious or even a conscious level, that's going to cause you stress. How do you get around it? Very simply, just have a look at what's important to me in terms of passions, what's the amount, then be honest amount of time spent, amount of money spent, and as a result of that, okay, starting from now, what are 3 things I can do to actually bridge that gap? And the fact that you're doing something, the fact that you're working on them will take your sense of well-being, your sense of self-esteem, your sense of joy through the roof. I'm Paul Mitchell, speaker and author. Be true to you.